This is my second annual holiday videos. Today I'm going to share with you what I recognized this year, something I think really worth sharing. I've been thinking about those topics this year. Even though American students do not compare well on international levels, but why a lot of people send their kids to US for higher education? And a lot of them will stay in US. Do we really understand the system? If you want to push your kids, where are the ladders? I grew up in China. At that time, for 99% of people, we only have a single ladder to climb. So this is a old China. Of course, now they are more open and there are multiple ladders, like they bribe or they have a corruption. But that's not what I'm familiar with.
Or it seems to me they also start their own companies and make
entrepreneurs
and businesses and make money in an honest and legitimate way.
Yes, this is only my memory. I never had the experience of the new China, so my memory of that was always single ladder. So once we are in the United States, so the stereotype of Asian is when the kids are little, piano, you probably read about the book by Tiger Mom. You have to really practice piano. And when the kids are bigger, you have to really help the kids get a better grade, better SAT scores. The ultimate goal is get the best school. And then the kids become doctor, engineers, and if it's in a corporation setting, it's first line manager and second line manager. And this is the only way I knew how to excel. There's no one among my friends or other people I know focus on different ladder, different paths to succeed.
Or for their children to succeed.
This actually works. That system works. Why it works? You probably read about Tiger Mom's article. It worked for her kids, and also it worked for me. I went to the best school in China, and I think I was rewarded. But it may not be for everyone in US. My own experience also may not apply to every viewers. And then this year I changed my mind. I have a different view, and this is because my beautiful wife. The way I grew up, I was told I have to get a wife who is well educated. So I came to this country. I decided also I need to add my wife has to be beautiful. I married for almost 25 years. My wife is beautiful and she graduated from Ivy League college. I'm very happy. Of course, you may think I'm shallow, but truly, you probably agree with me. The first has to be beautiful. The second is Ivy League. My single criteria for life is nothing but higher education. I don't know how many of the parents share my view, but that was my view. My wife was born here and grew up here. She's from an academic family. She has a totally different view from my view. I will share you some of the influence she has on our kids' education. Here's a comparison of stereotype of Asian parents and what my kids did. This is one example. My kid did all the team sports. Like we have 3 kids. This is the oldest. The second is soccer. The third is lacrosse. They are all team sport. I know some of the stereotypical Asian parents, as stated in the Tiger Mom's book, piano, violin, tennis, gymnastics, swim, and so on. You know, those activities tend not to be team sports, team oriented, but it does work well for the single ladder system. If you do well, your metrics are up. This is an actual curriculum. It's very easy, spend the least amount of time, climb the ladder. You can focus on only a very narrow path that actually works. But my kids work different way because of my wife's influence. This is the first year I realized something very important. I noticed my son's Facebook page has 1.7 likes compared to the official UC Berkeley's page, 215,000 likes. This is an accomplishment can only be done by himself, not by any college prep, any help from anyone else. Even I cannot do that. I realized he's only a sophomore in college, but he can be on his own now. Rather than we are financially supporting him, pushing him to the higher, he can do that himself. Before, I always thought Steve Jobs and Bill Gates are someone special, but now I realize my son does have an entrepreneur spirit. This is a country actually can foster, can really help you to excel, but not going through that single ladder system. On many high Asian population areas, there are many college prep surveys. The parents are comparing how much money they are spending. In our local area, we have so many IV, blah blah, IV names, services. People spend $1,000 to $10,000 for the kids' portfolio to apply at college. Some mothers are professional mothers, spend a lot of hours trying to get the kids to have a top score SAT and national competitions. Our kids didn't do any of that. They are trying to find their own ladders by themselves, and they are very motivated doing that. U.S. student is known to perform poorly on math and science subjects.
Relatively poorly, shall we say.
But why Google, Facebook, and Twitter and LinkedIn all are created in U.S.? Those countries with single ladder system can be the first one to create it. They can copy. What I think is the multiple ladder that help people create a lot of new things, different things, the first of its kind. The US has a good ladder system that can attract a lot of international talents. Countries with a single ladder system, they can't create something first because people are constrained in this single ladder system. Gradually you have a saturation on this curve. It is the multi-ladder system that enable people to branch off from some point, even from when they're little, and to different ladder that can actually go higher. What is the problem if people want to have an unconventional ladder? So this is something I like to share with you. If you have an unconventional ladder, it sometimes is scary and risk because it's unknown ladder and it's unproven. For example, if my kid asks me, why do I need to go to college? Or I don't want to finish college. What do you do in this case? In this case, it's very easy if we're someone else's kids. I'll say, okay, there are examples of ladder of Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and it's great because that's their kids. But when it's my own kids, then it's very hard to say, even if I have an open mind. This really come to very difficult time if your kids want to go to unconventional ladders. I have some experience in my own internet venture. I had a single ladder at the very beginning until college. Once I start working, I invest some significant amount of money myself. I took the risk. But even with that experience, I still very hesitate to tell my kids, yeah, you should go ahead. But I think one thing is very important is to let the kids calculate the risk. It has to be very calculated risk. When you are asked the tough questions going to the unconventional path, go each path in detail and what is the plan B. My advice to typical Asian parents, because I was one of them and I understand the single ladder works if your kid is able to climb. But always keep in mind in this country there are multiple ladders. I realized only too late this year, even though I married 25 years. And make sure the kids play some kind of team sport and has a social life. I don't really have much advice to non-Asian parents and other parents, but my own feeling is, my observation, it could be wrong, but please leave a comments below, see whether you agree with me, and I think if it's no ladder at all, it doesn't work. And need a more performance monitor closely.
Okay, well, here is your highly educated wife speaking, saying, you just said, make sure they play a team sport. Again, I didn't make sure they did anything. I attempted to make sure that they were able to follow the things in which they had the most talent and inclination. And for two of them, that happened to be team sports.
Yes, that's correct.
You guys going out? And now two of our kids are going out to do their own thing. Bye.
Yeah, so of course, I wish the kids can really ask help from me. You know, they do all things all by themselves, and they don't want the parents' help at all, or don't want the knowledge from the parents. I think that's something we can work on to improve, because at least I feel I do have the knowledge. It just they think I don't understand their problem. Kids' education is really irreversible. You can't send kids back to they were baby to restart all over again. So by sharing this with you, I really hope it helps you, because it took my wife 25 years to convince me. Please subscribe my channel by clicking here, like it, and favorite, and leave comments. Thank you. Happy holidays.